apparently the upcoming Nintendo Direct for June has just leaked. Yes, and we might actually have an exact date as to when we can expect this thing, because it looks like it was actually due to Among Us. Yeah, Among Us was actually the culprit here, and let me explain to you why. Apparently the date was leaked to be June 18th, which is a week from today, the next Tuesday, because an Among Us trailer launched too early and they hurry up and took it down. Now this has definitely happened before with other gaming companies, and I think even Fortnite did it once where something like that happened, so it kind of already leaked that there's some type of presentation or something for Nintendo coming the following Tuesday on the 18th. Now what's also interesting is the next Switch Online maintenance is actually scheduled for that day too, because you know sometimes there's like shadow game drops and different things that could happen. Maybe Nintendo announces some firmware updates for the Switch or something. Hey, maybe themes come. I don't know, but yeah, it's starting to all come together and this makes a lot of sense to me. But next Tuesday, that is a weird date for sure, because normally we get Nintendo Directs on Wednesdays or Thursdays. Now, let me tell you why this isn't all that strange. It's because when Nintendo used to be part of E3 and E3 was a thing, they would always have their E3 presentations after everybody has gone on the next available Tuesday. It was always on a Tuesday, so that way they could have treehouse events on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Even though E3 is not a thing, we're still getting events from even Sony just had one, Microsoft had one, Ubisoft, everybody's having their events still. There was even Summer Game Fest, so just because there's not an official E3 doesn't mean there's no gaming announcements. And Nintendo was definitely probably just waiting for everybody to go and have their turn. Ubisoft actually just had their event yesterday, so Nintendo's probably like, nope, we want our own week, a whole week dedicated to us and our Nintendo Direct, so all of the eyes can be on us. That's how Nintendo is. They've always been like this, and it makes the most sense why we haven't had a Direct yet so far. And next week really just makes sense on paper. The following week, Luigi's Mansion 2 comes out. They probably don't want to do anything along that. They still could. I just don't think they will. Next week just kind of makes the most sense out of all the weeks. Not to toot my own horn, even though technically I am. I did kind of say, like, I had a really good feeling that it wasn't going to happen until next week, because another thing, we haven't really heard any leaks or like big information from insiders. Like, for instance, Pyoro has been extremely quiet, which led me to believe there definitely isn't any event, because Pyoro normally gives out some small information the days leading up to a Nintendo Direct, and sometimes even the weekend before that Nintendo Direct, and we really haven't heard anything. So yeah, I kind of had a feeling that something was up and that it still wasn't Direct time yet. Yes, anyways, it looks like next week is the time we're going to be getting our beloved Nintendo Direct. Finally, it has literally been since September of last year since we've had a general Nintendo Direct, because remember, we only had a partner showcase this year, so we were definitely due for some announcements. Now, I'm not going to dive into a whole predictions list here. I'm going to save my predictions until Nintendo officially announces this thing, but I am going to talk real quick about what I'm expecting for the show to be, and I've said it before and I'll say it again. I don't think this is going to be that grand show that we've been waiting for. I think it's still coming, and that's going to be the big presentation for Switch 2, where it's going to reveal the next Mario Kart, 3D Mario, Metroid Prime 4, all the greatness that we've been waiting for, Where I feel like this show is still going to be good, but I feel like a lot of people are going to be upset if they don't temper their expectations. I'm not expecting the next huge AAA title to be revealed here, unless there is something Nintendo's been hiding behind their backs for a one last second reveal for this holiday season. Let it be a Donkey Kong, maybe a 2D Zelda game, something along those lines could definitely still happen, but I think it's very, very, very small chance of anything big. So yes, this is going to be that Direct where we get even more remakes, remasters, ports, some smaller things, older games coming back, because remember, this is still the transition period as we're getting ready for a brand new console. But even with that said, I still also think there's a chance there could be some big surprise at the end. Not very likely, extremely unlikely, but there is a chance. And I want to get that out there, and I've said this before, that there is somehow a potential for Nintendo to say, you know what, let's show them one big 2025 game. And it could be coming to the next console, but they just don't say it. They don't mention it. They don't say anything about the Switch successor. They just say, here's this big, awesome, brand new game coming in 2025. It could be that 3D Mario. It could be Mario Kart. Who knows? But I feel like if the Switch 2 is coming out in March and there is a big launch title, we're kind of closing the gap now on how long before we actually get to hear about some of these games and that launch title game. So this could be the place to show it off. You never know. As far as for what I'm hoping for, I'm really just hoping to see some fun older games coming back. Like, I am a big 3DS person right now, And I'm just still kind of getting over the fact that Luigi's Mansion 2 is a 3DS game that they chose so far. I'm like, come on. So I'm really hoping for something like Kid Icarus Uprising, or maybe even Link Between Worlds, or the 2 Kirby games, Triple Deluxe and Planet Robobot, still left on Nintendo 3DS. Or maybe they even bring over the Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask 3D games and bring them into HD for the Nintendo Switch would be a really awesome idea as well. But if I had to choose one, definitely Kid Icarus Uprising. I feel like it's the game that needs it the most, and it's a series that I need to see return, with new games as well, because there's no way in the world, after such an amazing debut with Kid Icarus Uprising, there's just no way they didn't make another one, right? Or even a remake or remaster of this game yet. It's insane to me. I also know there's been some trademarks for Stretchmo, so whether we get a new Stretchmo world, or a Pushmo, or maybe just a big collection of Pushmo games or something like that, looks like something along those lines is happening very soon. Also, we got a brand new trademark recently for Kirby and the Rainbow Curse. So, I mean, that game's okay. I could live with or without the game. It doesn't really matter, but sure, bring it on over. And of course, the rumors of Xenoblade Chronicles X making a return, which just makes sense when you think about it, considering the fact it's one of the few Wii U games that still has not made it over to Nintendo Switch. And yeah, Nintendo Switch is pretty much every single Xenoblade, Xenoblade 1, Xenoblade 2, Xenoblade 3, yeah, X needs to be there. And I'm pretty daggone positive that that long-rumored Fire Emblem Genealogy of the Holy War remake or remaster, whatever it's going to be, is definitely coming. I completely agree with that. I think that it's time for Fire Emblem something, and this has been going on for years now. It seems like it's almost about time for this game. And then that just leaves some smaller things that we could get, like another Mario Party, a Mario Sports title, and obviously Metroid Prime 2 and 3. I think that's really about it for the show. There could be a couple more surprises, some smaller things that I'm not talking about here. But yeah, I think that's going to be generally about it. I think a lot of people are going to come out of the show saying this was pretty good, or this was okay. Like, it's not going to blow anybody out of the water, and it's still just going to be something to tie us over for the next couple of months until we get into the fall season, where then we can get revealed that Switch 2 and some games coming to the console next year, and some of the big meaty stuff that we've been waiting for a very long time. But I could be wrong. Maybe this is a gigantic show with tons of new things and things to look forward to. Maybe Nintendo has plans all the way throughout the holiday, and this is like the biggest Nintendo Direct ever, and we're not even want to question when the Switch 2 showcase is, because this is just so good. But definitely let me know in the comments down below what you're expecting from this upcoming Nintendo Direct. Do you think it's actually going to take place next week? Is there some chance that it could still take place this Thursday? I guess there could still be an announcement tomorrow morning. We're just going to have to wait and see. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe before you head out. And like always, I'll see you all on the next one. See you guys.